Recording. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. If you guys don't know me, if we haven't met yet, my name is Shelby Sutton, and I am one of your Double Diamond leaders. Everybody on this team chat, everybody on the team is somewhere in my downline. You might be on Rochelle's team, Ashley's team, Kat's team, you're somewhere in our amazing team, and we're so glad and so happy to have you as part of the team. I honestly pray over my entire downline, which I think at this point right now is 575 people, every single day, and over your businesses and over the people that want this and are willing to work for it. I pray for abundance over you and your families. So I just want you to know that you are definitely loved and definitely cared for, even on the days where you might feel like, maybe you're in somewhat of a valley that day or that week, or maybe you feel like you're alone and you're the only one going through it. Just know that you're not, and that there's someone, and there are probably multiple people thinking about you and praying about you and your business. But I'm so glad that we're doing this. We used to do these team Zooms weekly, and it was so much fun, and I literally just have so much fun connecting with every single one of you. Weekly became a little overwhelming, and we like kind of scaled back, and I think it was like right during the holidays too, and then we just like totally fell off the map with these Zooms, and we would just like do them randomly, and then conference came around and we got hyped back up again, and then we fell off again. But I really want to try to do at least one a month, because I love seeing all of you guys' faces. I love seeing all your little nuggets faces, which I can see Amy's little baby from here. And I don't know, there's something about our team focuses so much on social media, which is amazing, because it means that we can welcome new teammates from literally anywhere around the world. But the negative to that is the only way that we really get to interact and meet each other and talk to each other is through these Zooms, and then through corporate events too, like green carpet or conference. So it's not really a negative as long as we're doing these, and it gives us all a chance to connect. So anyways, I will literally talk for hours if you let me. So I'm going to try to just kind of wrap up my little welcome here, but I am really excited that all of you guys took the time tonight or this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, to be with your team. If you show up to these types of things, you're going to go up, because when you surround yourself with like-minded people who love the same thing as you, you're going to get inspired, and it's going to light a fire under your belly. And on those rough days where you got 15 no's, you're going to remember that you have all these people surrounding you that love you and want you to succeed. So anyways, we're going to start off with a little Q&A. And you guys posted these questions today, and they're all really, really good questions and things that I think are really important to go over. So basically, I'm just going to I'm going to be the moderator and read the questions, but then I'll just chime in too, because I might have some things to say. But I know Rochelle and Ashley definitely has some things to say. And you know what, you guys, this isn't just like leaders talking away. Like, if any of you, most of you on here, not everybody, I see some veterans like Gloria, and I don't even know who else I see. My screen's so little, but a lot of you guys on here are brand new. But if there's anybody that's on here and wants to share their input as well, this isn't just like the Shelby, Ashley, Rochelle show. Like, feel free to chime in and give your input too. But how it's going to work is I'll read the questions. Ashley and Rochelle will have a chance to give their input, because they're where they are for a reason. They are diamond and double diamond for a reason. And they have so much great stuff to say. So we'll let them say it. And then if one of you is just like, oh, wait, I had experience with this yesterday, then you definitely feel free to chime in. So anyways, I lost the questions right after I found them. Ash and Rochelle, if you guys want to unmute yourselves, or I can unmute you, Rochelle. Oh, wait. I muted you, just kidding.
Thank you.
Okay, you're both unmuted. So I'm just going to kind of start from the first question and we'll work our way down. And if there's any repeats or whatever, then we can just kind of weed through them. But the first two questions are actually from Kristen Champagne, and she asked them on behalf of one of her new distributors. And the first thing I want to say before I even read these questions out loud is both of these are mentioned in Rochelle's training videos, which if you do not know, Rochelle spent a lot of time before she had Huntley creating I know we have our three main ones, but she did some others too, but just for simplicity's sake, she created these 3 videos that are in the pinned post of our Team Bombdiggity page. And if you haven't watched those videos, that needs to be your homework tonight. Like, do not go, if it's your first day or your 100th day, do not go any further until you've gone and watched these videos, because a lot of the info you're going to be like, oh, duh, I already know that. But a lot of it's going to be a huge review, and we'll answer a lot of these questions, including these 2. But we will go over these 2 since they were specifically asked. So the first one is, how do you go about describing the LC program to people when you are brand new? Which the LC program is the Loyal Customer Program, and it's our amazing way that customers are able to get the same wholesale discount as us as distributors without signing up as distributors. And so I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of other MLMs, multi-level marketing companies out there, in order for you to get their discount, you have to sign up as a distributor. And so whether you work your business or not, you're getting the discount, but you're having to sign up as a distributor to do that. With our company, they say, no, not everybody wants to be a distributor, but everybody wants the discount. And so we're going to give you this awesome loyal customer program where your customers can get the same discount as you, and then you're going to get commissions on those customers. So Ashley, do you want to talk about what you say and what you train your newbies to say as far as the loyal customer program goes?
Yeah. And also after I tell you guys, because me, Shelby, and Rochelle, it's actually in Rochelle's training video, but after I say it and somebody else starts talking, I'll type it in the comments. Should I do that, or should I wait and type it in the thread, like the message that I use?
Let's do it in the team page. Like, don't do it in here.
Okay, so I'm gonna pretend like I had a girl message me on Instagram about hair, skin, and nails. Okay, so I've told her what hair, skin, and nails is. I sent her a before and after picture. She's really excited. She wants to do it, and now she asked me how much it costs. The first thing I say is, after being excited, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love it, I can't wait to see your results. As a 90-day product model, you'll get my discount. A month's supply for you would be $33. And then in parentheses, I say it's usually $55. And then I end it with, how does that sound? Or does that work for you? As long as you end it with a question, so they have to respond to you. And then 99.9% of the time, they're going to ask you what a 90-day product model is, or if you call it the 90-day challenge, they're going to ask you what the 90-day challenge is. So this part right here, what I'm about to read to you, I'll copy and paste it in the team page so you guys have it. But it says, with the 90-day challenge, you get to try any products you want with my discount. It unlocks free shopping sprees and free products. All you have to do is get at least one product of your choice 3 months in a row, and it waives a $50 membership fee. Sound good? And then wait for them to respond. If they have any questions about that, of course, you can answer. But the key things to remember about this is never use the word auto ship, because that's a really scary word and it freaks people out. It would freak me out. And honestly, even though it is what the company calls it, you're not being like what's the word, like shady. You're not lying to them, because they do have their own, like they can go in and change the date. They can change the product. It is really flexible. So don't feel like you're being sneaky by not calling it an auto shipment. So that's the first thing. Don't use that word. Um, don't send them like 500 paragraphs. Like I literally use that every single time. This is how much you'll get it for. This is how much it normally is. They ask you what the 90-day challenge is, and then you respond, and that's it. Because if you go into it, if you start talking about, oh, and you get 10% back in perk points, and you can use them at this date, and blah, blah, it's too much information. They're going to be overwhelmed, and they're probably not going to even finish reading it, and you're going to be like, what the heck? Like, why haven't I heard back from this person? So that's it. That's as simple as I keep it. I have literally used that same script forever, and I've never had any issues with people not understanding what it means. Rochelle, did you want to add anything to that?
The only thing I wanted to add was maybe if they're talking, I wasn't sure what her question was referring to, whether it was in person or when we can actually use scripts. So if it's in person and you're explaining the loyal customer program, you want to just keep it super simple, exactly how Ashley said, except for obviously you're not going to like make it scripted, but you just say like, okay, it's super simple. Here's how you can get my discount. You just try one product a month for 3 months, and then we can waive a $50 membership fee. And then like, if you're talking about it in person and you make it sound simple, and you don't like I even say this, I think in my training video, where before, when I first learned about the loyal customer program and in person, I would literally be like, okay, but it kind of sucks. Like the only way to get my discount is if you do this. And then like, is if you do this 3-month auto ship or whatever. And it's like, if you come off that way to them, then they don't want to do it. But if you come off the way that it really is, they're going to get our discount. Just like Shelby said, it's not many companies do this where you can get like our actual distributor price. So make it sound like what it is. It's an awesome deal, and all you have to do is try one product a month for 3 months. It's super flexible. You can change the product, you can change the price. So just come off really confident, and know what you're talking about. And if you come off with confidence and you just say how simple it is, that's going to be key for you guys.
Yeah, that is true. I know when I first started, I didn't have like the confidence in the pricing of our products. I never thought they were too expensive, but I never would be like, oh my gosh, you'll actually only have to pay $33 for a month's supply. Like I would just be like, well, a month's supply, but people can feel your excitement online. And truly, like Shelby already said this, but we are one of the only MLMs who offer that big of a discount to our customers. So, yeah, like just piggybacking off of what Rochelle said, like our products are amazing. They're natural, they're plant-based, and for people to get that big of a discount without joining the company is huge. So if you guys just have confidence in the pricing, whoever you're talking to is going to feel that confidence.
Not only that, but also if you guys are unsure on pricing, it's just like if you started at like a brand new job or something. It's okay for you to say, oh my gosh, I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but I'll pull it up on my phone real quick. Like bring up your website, look at it, show them it, be like, look, this is what the retail price normally is, and you're going to get it for this big price right here, the $33 or whatever. Like that excitement, and just don't be afraid to bring it up, pull it up and show them exactly what it is. You guys have it in the palm of your hand. Don't like choke up and just be like, oh, I'll have to get back to you later. Just be confident, and it comes off a lot better.
Perfect, guys. I'm going to move on to the next question. And this one's very similar in my mind. But when we post about products at the loyal customer pricing, what can we say to make sure that they don't feel misled by the retail pricing and discount pricing only as a 90-day customer? So I think what she means is, if you're posting about hair, skin, and nails, and you say something like, I'm looking for 5 product models with my discount, you know, and maybe you say something like the first 5 people will pay only $33 or something. So then when they message you and they're like, oh, I'm interested. And then you say, okay, so normally it's 55, but if you do the 90-day challenge, then you'll get it with my discount for 33. She's saying like, how do you make it so that they don't feel like, oh, well, you already told me it was going to be 33. Now I have to do this 90-day challenge. Here's what I think. It's all about what we just said before. It's about confidence, and it is about excitement, and it is about doing a great job explaining the loyal customer program or 90-day challenge or 90-day trial or 90-day product model. Those are all the same things. They're just fun, different ways of saying it. So if you do your job explaining that very simply and precisely and having confidence and in your own mind believing that you're not misleading anybody, then you're not going to be worrying about what other people are thinking. And they're going to feel that confidence, and they're going to understand what you're saying. So if when you're typing out your post and you're like, oh no, I hope they aren't going to get mad when they find out the retail price and that they have to do this challenge and then all that, you can push those fears aside. You have to have confidence in this business and in these products. And when you do, none of that will matter. What do you guys think? Do you have anything to add, or do you want to just kind of move along from there?
I actually didn't really know how to answer the question, because just like you just said, I don't have that problem. I've never had that problem with my posts or anything like that. And I think it is like your mindset and how confident you come off. If somebody asks you a question like that, which I truly don't get that often at all, I think because I come off so confident, like, this is so easy. This is how you do it. You know, you just take a picture, before and after picture, and then you get this price. And it seems so easy to them. And then they don't even think about the post that they just responded on. They don't think to question you on whether or not this 90-day trial thing. So yeah.
Or it's the same thing with, like, I used to never sell triple threats, which triple threat is 3 different products and it's $97 with our discount. And I used to never sell it because I didn't have $97 to spend on products. So I thought no one else has $97 either. And my husband is in sales and he's like, Shelby, quit shopping in other people's wallets. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you don't know if they have $97 or not. So boldly say and very excitedly tell them the amazing price that they're getting on these 3 products. And when I started doing that, I started selling triple threats. And so basically, don't shop with other people's wallets, or I don't even know if that's the right saying, but I hope you guys get the point. Like, it became fine, and I started selling triple threats when I believed that price was an amazing price. They were actually getting 3 amazing products at an amazing price point, instead of being like, ooh, it's $97. Is that all right? No, that's not how you say it. You know, if you say it confidently, then they're going to be like, I say what the triple threat price is, and they're like, oh, I can do that. And I'm like, yes. I still say yes. Okay, let's keep moving on. I think you guys get the point there. Okay, so Kat asked, I know this is something that we've talked about often. The words no thank you can happen a lot. And when they say no, how can you change that no to a yes? I'm going to pretty much pass this over to Rochelle, who's like the queen of turning every single no matter what, into a yes. So go ahead, Rochelle, give us what you got on this.
I just don't really believe in the word no. I just think it just means not now. I have so many people come to me even after they tell me no, and eventually order products from me because they continually see my posts, and they get more interested or more curious or whatever, and then they come back to me. And so I also firmly believe, hold on guys, that when they tell you no, it's just because you haven't sparked their interest yet. You haven't shown them something that they want. So if they say no thank you to, like, let's say you send them a script that says like a popular one is, hey girl, I'm looking for some hair, skin, and nail, or like hair models or weight loss. Do you know anybody that would need these or whatever? and they say no thank you, I would be like, okay girl, have you ever tried our products? I specifically don't say have you ever tried It Works, or have you ever, like I don't say the company name, because sometimes they know what I'm talking about, and they'll say yes, I used to be an It Works rep or whatever, but most of the time they come back and say no, what are you selling? Because they don't know. So they said no thank you to you, and they don't even know what they're saying no to. So instead of getting discouraged by that, instead just educate them, which that sounds like kind of rude, but just tell them like, hey, have you ever tried our products? And they're going to be like, no, what do you sell? Have you ever heard of It Works Global? And they're either going to say yes or no, and then you can tell them about it and send them a list of categories to see if anything interests them. Every single time I send that list of categories, somebody says weight loss or hair, skin, and nails or whatever it may be. You just have to use that as like a conversation starter. So when they say no, it's just a conversation starter right there. That's now a conversation that you can start with them on what it's like. I see it as a challenge. Like, what can I help them with? How can I find a need for them? And then that way you never really take no for an answer.
Oh, that's so good. I strive to be more like Rochelle all the time. Like every time I get a no, for me, no's don't bother me anymore. Like I know in the beginning, it's hard to get all those no's because you're like, nobody's interested. Everybody hates these products and everybody hates It Works. And it's not true. Like Rochelle said, half these people that are saying no to you don't even know what they're saying no to. But, it's just like now, instead of like, now I'm not scared of no's or upset by them, but I still sometimes I'm like, ugh, they said no, I'm just moving on to the person. Like I'll just go until I get a yes. But I need to be more like Rochelle and turn those no's into a yes. Ashley, what do you want to add to it?
The only thing I would add is, which you guys kind of already said this, but they're not saying no to you. So don't let it upset you or offend you or make you feel like, well, what the heck? Like they're not saying, it's not a personal thing for one. Like if they do initially say no, just try to remember that, because it doesn't bother me at all anymore. It did used to bother me a lot, but now like it's a normal thing to hear. So that was the first thing, is don't let it offend you. They're not telling you no. And then two, if you do get a no and you go through what Rochelle just said and it's not their time right now, that's okay, because they're going to keep watching you. Like, let's say you're talking about the wraps and they're like, no, for whatever reason, they don't have the money or whatever it is. End of the conversation is no. But they're going to keep watching you. You're going to keep posting. You're going to keep showing before and after pictures. And there's going to be a time where you show a before and after picture of what the wrap did for somebody who that person can relate to. Maybe they weigh the same, or maybe the person you posted about just had a baby and their skin just isn't tight anymore. And that potential who said no to you has the exact same problem. And they're going to see that before and after picture. And as long as you're doing your job and you're posting every day and you're talking about how amazing the products are, they are going to eventually order from you, because it also is a relationship business and you have to build your trust with them. Dude, these people keep turning out this dang light, driving me.
What?
So, oh, there I am again. Okay, so, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Okay, perfect example. I signed a customer today who ordered the Cleanse and ThermoFit. In fact, I want to look real quick. I initially had this conversation with her, I think in 2016. I'm going to try to find it so I can tell you like the exact date. And she initially said no. For whatever reason, she didn't have the finances. She was changing jobs, blah, blah, blah. October 25th, 2016 is when we first started talking. And I followed up with her here and there, whatever. Well, then on June 19th of this year, I messaged her again. And I just said the short product model script. And she was like, actually, yes, I really need to lose some weight and detox. And I was like, perfect. And I just went through the whole thing again about what the cleanse is, what thermophyte is, and she ordered today. Same thing happened to me yesterday with somebody who ordered the cleanse. I messaged her originally in 2017. It was not the right time for her. I actually think she may have been pregnant now that I think about it. So she didn't order. I followed up with her again yesterday, and she ordered on the spot. So just keep those things in mind too. If it ends up being a no matter what you say to them, in a year from now or 6 months from now, however long from now, they're probably going to order from you.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. The next question is from Alanis. Not sure how to say your name, girl. I know you were on here. I don't see you anymore though. But her question was, I have been trying to add people, but still not really having any luck. I don't know if she means on Facebook or on Instagram. So we'll just kind of go over both, and how you actually add people on one or the other is different. Who you add is not necessarily different. And Randy asked the same question, but specifically for Instagram. She said, I have trouble knowing who to follow on Instagram besides friends and family. So let's just go over this. I first want to take like 5 seconds to talk to you guys a little bit about, this is not totally off topic, but it's not going to answer the question right away. But I want to take a couple of minutes to talk to you guys about your brand. So your brand, it may be totally different than mine. If I were to go to your Instagram, then, or your Facebook, then I should really be able to pick out like 3 or 4 things that make you who you are. Like the things that you talk about, that you're passionate about, that you love, that you do in your free time. So for example, mine would be, I am a twin mom. I'm a boy mom. I love, I'm like having a moment here, like what is my brand? But mostly like I'm a mom, and I focus mostly on my kids and that they're boys and that they're twins. So those are like the things that make me who I am. And those things have changed. When I started this business, I didn't have any kids. And so I was a dog mom. I was obsessed with my dogs. And so that's changed. Now my dogs annoy me, and I'm all about my kids. But if you go on my Instagram, that's what you'll see. You'll see my family. You'll see the beach. The beach is something huge that I love. So you'll see us in the water or playing or going on adventures to the beach or whatever. And these are just things that make me who I am. So that's my brand, and your brand could be very, very different from mine. You could live in the middle of the country and you never go to the beach. So do not post, don't take my post, even though we say you're welcome to use any of our posts. Don't use the picture of the beach and say like, I am just hanging at the beach working my business, because that's not you. That's not who you are. But anyways, everybody has their own brand. So I want you to take out a piece of paper if you don't have one out right now. Or if you're driving, then just do this in your head. But I want you to just number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to write down, what are the 5 things that make you you and make you unique? We're all business owners. So that's one thing. And, you know, many of us are moms, so that's another thing. And then what's something that you love? Do you love food? Do you love baking? Do you love cooking? Do you love gardening? Do you love riding your bike? Do you love painting? Are you an artist? Are you, do you love like riding those razor things out in the mountains like Rochelle? I don't even know what that is. Like, I can't be posting about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, write down the 5 main things that make you who you are. And those are your 5 things that make you special. So don't worry if they might seem weird or strange to other people, because here's where those 5 things really kick in. One, you're going to post about those 5 things, but also you're going to follow people with those same exact interests. And then, you know, I don't know if you've ever gotten a message back. I have before, where it's like, hey, do I know you? And instead of being super weird and awkward and being like, no, I just randomly followed you on Instagram, and then you're like, crap, now she's going to know that I'm just, you know, I'm an It Works girl or whatever. You can be like, hey, yeah, I followed you because we share X, Y, and Z interest. And so it makes it less awkward because you share an interest with them. And the way that you found them is you go to an Instagram. I keep using Instagram as an example, but you know, there's Facebook and Instagram, but on Instagram, you can go to, like, for me, there's so many twin boutiques. Like, there's clothes boutiques specifically for twins. Or there's something called, it's an Instagram page called like products for multiples or something like that, or moms of multiples or whatever. And I literally will I'll go to that page, I'll go to their followers, and then I'll just follow. I do like to look at their little bubble. Like, I'll just look and see what their little picture looks like and make sure that it's like a mom or a newlywed, or she has some kids in her picture, something like that. But very quickly, like, I'm scanning so fast. And then I make sure that they have like a legit human name that I know and can say and can pronounce. And like, if they have those 2 things, if they're like a cute picture with a normal name, you're getting followed. And I follow. And you can only follow 30 at a time. I think it's 30 an hour or something. And I know you don't just have every day, all day, to just every hour be following 30 people, unless you're Ashley, because I'm pretty sure she does that every hour, follows 30 more people and then messages like 1,000 more. But that's how you follow people that you share an interest with, and they're most likely going to come back and follow you back. And now you guys share these interests. So when they're following you back, now they're going to see your pictures, and they're going to be like, oh, Randy, she loves horseback riding too. I'm actually interested in the things that she is posting. And then when you start sprinkling in It Works stuff, which I do not mean the big like black, green, and bling posts, I just mean like, she, you know, this is totally random. I don't know if Randy loves horseback riding, but like a picture of Randy on a horse, horseback riding with a beautiful sunset. And the caption is something about like her freedom of time and all her future goals in the next year and all the things she's going to achieve. Okay, well, now horseback riding lover lady is like, oh my gosh, this picture's beautiful. And this lady loves horseback riding too. And then she's going to read the caption, and it's going to be all about Randy's home-based business and how she's going to earn this $10,000 bonus and all this stuff. Okay, so are you guys seeing the connection here? It's all connected. You have a brand. You follow people based on that brand. Those people follow you back based on that brand. You post based on that brand, and these people become interested based on that brand, okay? And like, we all have our own brand. Every single one of us has our own individual brand. So we're all It Works distributors, but we're all so different. Even like, if you pick 3 of us out of here, me, Ashley, and Amanda, we're all moms. Cool. We're all It Works distributors. Cool. But like, and we all went to the same flipping high school too. I forgot about that. But we're all so different too. Like, there's so many things that make us different and unique, and will draw different people in. Like, Amanda she's probably signed like 10 loyal customers that I sat with in homeroom that I would have never signed because I didn't have the relationship that she had or has with them in high school. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many different ways to make your business yours based on your brand. So anyways, did I even answer that question at all? It was about adding people. Do you guys get the point though? Like, yeah, friends and family is obvious, but, and Randy, you were the one that asked it. So like basically going and finding pages on Instagram that interest you. Like, don't just go find something that you think will have a bunch of good people. Like, don't just go to like Crunch Fitness because those people are healthy and want to like lose weight or whatever. Don't do that. Like, go to something that interests you and follow those people, because there's going to be people that want to be healthy in every group. There's going to be people that want to make money in every group. Okay, I'm done. I'm muting myself. Somebody else chime in.
One thing I'll add about Instagram, and maybe Rochelle, you can do Facebook, but is besides what Shelby just said, you can also search for places that are near you. Like if you, like there's a Starbucks right around the corner for me. So if you go to that little, shoot, I actually forget how to do it. I think you just go to the magnifying glass on Instagram. Let me make sure I'm telling you that. Oh, no. You go to search, and then you go to places, and then you just type in whatever you want. So let's say I want to do Starbucks. I'm going to type that in, and then it's going to show me, I don't know if you guys will be able to see my phone, but it's going to show me a list of Starbucks that are near me. And then I just click on the closest one. And then everybody who has tagged themselves at that Starbucks is going to show up on my Instagram. And then I'll click on it, and then I can do exactly what Shelby just told you, like go to the likes and then follow those people, and then follow the original person too. But that's a really good way to build your team, build a local team. It's just search for places around you. And normally, I mean, this isn't the case all the time, but a lot of those people's friends are also local. And you can just start following their friends and like go do that, you know, for a week or so. And then before you know it, you're going to be messaging people, and you're going to realize that, oh my gosh, you live like 5 minutes away from me. So that's a really, I don't think she's on here, but 2 months ago, I didn't even realize it, but I signed a distributor that way. Like I had found her, probably was a Starbucks, and I followed her. We were messaging back and forth. She ended up signing, and she lives literally like 30 minutes away from me. So that's just a different way to find people to follow on Instagram. But I do everything else Shelby said. I make sure I can pronounce her name. That's like always the first thing I look for. And then not to get like into it too much, but I do like to follow private accounts, only because I feel like the public ones don't even notice that I'm following them, because when you're private, you get that notification, and then it asks you if you want to follow the person back, and they have to like think about that. Whereas if I'm following people who are public, they do get a notification, but it doesn't matter. Like they don't have to go in and do anything about that. Like they just, okay, cool, somebody's following me. So I actually prefer to follow private people, but I don't know that that necessarily makes or breaks a business. And that's it. That's all I have to add about Instagram.
So I do kind of the same thing. Just to piggyback off of that really fast with Instagram, I will follow public accounts too. But what I do for that exact reason, Ashley, is I'll go through and like 4 or 5 of their pictures, so that they get a lot more notifications than just the Rochelle Copley started following you. She also liked 5 of their pictures. And then they go to your page because they're like, who's this girl? So that they kind of have to have that thought of like, who is this? Oh, I'll go follow her too, because I'm private. So if they have a public account, they go to follow me because they want to know who I am. And then most of the time they don't unfollow me, right? So that's what I do if they are public and I like their page. Obviously, if they have 9 million followers or something, they're probably already doing well with what they do. But if they have 4,000 to 5,000 followers, they'd be great at this business. If they don't already have something else going on, I just like some of their pictures. So it kind of just says hey, look at me, I'm here liking your stuff. And then on Facebook, I heard this on a training at some point. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but I just kind of believed it and did that. So I was told never to do your suggested friends. And I think the reason is because those are all your mutual friends kind of. So like Nikki and I, for example, Nikki has like 50 some mutual friends, maybe even more with me, just like not even our teammates, just in general. And so like all of Nikki's friends show up in that, or friends of friends show up in that. And if I go and friend all of them, they're already friends with Nikki, and now we have even more mutual friends, if that makes any sense. So I try and stay away from that. What I will do instead is go to my friends. Like, so I go to my page, and then I pull up my friends and I scroll down. Like, I literally just do it randomly, and I'll pick a random person that I don't have a ton of mutual friends with, like maybe like 3 or 4. Obviously, if they're not, obviously not being It Works distributors, like you don't want to have mutual friends with other It Works distributors. Then I'll go to their page, and I'll follow, or I will friend 5 of their friends. And then I'll go to one of those people that have already accepted it, and I'll friend 5 of those. And it's just like this kind of friending, but instead you're only getting 5 from each chunk. So it's not like you're just friending everybody that you see on one person's page. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like that was confusing, but that's what I do for following on Facebook.
That's perfect. I'm going to add 2 things to that, which Samantha asked too. She said also adding new friends. Where do I look? I've been adding a lot of mutuals who look like they'd be awesome, and then I find out they already do at work. So Samantha, however, I don't know if you go by Sam. I'm going to call you Sam. You need to be checking their profiles first. If they are an It Works distributor and they're doing their job properly, then you should be able to see in their first 1, 2, or 3 posts that they're an It Works distributor. So before you follow people on Facebook or friend request them, go check out their profile. Also, if you go look at their friend list and all 6 of those friends, when it shows like who they're, it'll show like there's 6 or 8 friends or whatever. If a bunch of them are It Works distributors, they're probably an It Works distributor. So that's one way to avoid that. But as far as some other cool ways for following or friend requesting on Facebook, one super, super simple way is if you're doing host to post, which I hope every single person on this Zoom right now is doing host to post, because it is the easiest way to get loyal customers. When you do those host to posts, if you follow every single, I keep saying follow, on Facebook it's friend request. If you friend request every single person that comments on that post, and even that likes that post, because sometimes people will like it without commenting, that's a ton of new potentials that you have right there. And so even if they don't end up becoming an LC at that moment because of that post, they may down the road, because now they're seeing your posts every single day, or maybe they'll become a distributor now because they see you posting about making extra money. Mm-hmm. So that's another great way to get new people to new people that you can friend request. And then the second way that I like to do is, if you're scrolling through your Facebook news feed and you see one of those sponsored ads, so I get like a lot of mom like clothes ones, not mom clothes, but like baby clothes, different like little kids boutiques, or different like baby products or whatever. I'll go to the comments, and if someone left, like I'll literally read the comments and just friend request the first 5 like positive comments, like someone who said something like, I absolutely love X, Y, and Z product, blah, blah, blah. Friend request. I know they're a mom, I know they have a baby, and I know that they're positive. If they left a comment that was like, your products suck, I'm like, I'm not going to follow you because you're a negative person. Maybe not. Maybe they just had a horrible experience, but I don't have time to figure that out. So I'm going to follow the positive people. So anyways, that's another really easy way to friend request people on Facebook. So there you guys have it for friend requesting and following on Facebook and Instagram. And you need to be doing that every single day. My rule of thumb is 5 new people on Facebook every day. And I try to follow at least 100 people on Instagram every day. And that doesn't mean they're all going to follow me back. That's why I try to do at least we say 90 because that's 3 sets of 30, which you can only do 30 at a time. And that sounds like a lot, like 90 people, but you guys, it takes literally 2 minutes to go follow 30 people, if that. And if you do it 3 times a day, like if you do it in the morning, on your lunch break, and before you go to bed, it literally, that's 3 minutes out of your life to follow 90 people. Okay, moving on. Samantha also asked where she can find the actual ingredients to products for when people want to see what the products are or ask their doctor if it's okay. The product info sheets can be found in eSuite, and that's the full list of ingredients. She said something about she feels like those pages aren't enough sometimes, but that's literally every single ingredient that's in every single product. So if you provide them that, then that's all they need. And like I said, if you go to log into your eSuite, you don't even have to log into your eSuite. You can literally go to the front end of your website. So I would just go to shelbysupplementsandwraps.com. I would click shop. I would pick the product, let's say greens. And then on that greens page, there's a link that says product info, and you can click on product info and it brings that PDF up. And I screenshot it on my phone and I send it right over to them. So you can do it in seconds once you get a hang of it. For me, I have them all saved now. So I have them saved in a little photo album in my phone, and I can just go send it off to people when they're like, can I use hair, skin, and nails while I'm breastfeeding? I did, but here's the product, here's the ingredients, and you can show your doctor. Or like, does the ThermoFit have a bazillion milligrams of caffeine? And it's like, I don't know, here, like check here, like just give it to them. I get asked all the time, a new distributor will message me and be like, hey, someone has this condition, and it's like the George Washington condition. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know every condition that there is. And so here's the product info. Like, it's up to them and their doctor to figure it out. And there's some big ones that like we're used to hearing all the time. For one, pregnant mamas and nursing mamas. Like, we get asked that all the time. And just so you guys know, it's okay to don't be like, oh, I was the one that asked Shelby about George Washington. Like, don't worry. Like, you can ask me, but 9 out of 10, I don't know. Like, I get those all confused, and I don't want to be responsible either for being like, yeah, it's totally fine, and then it's not. So, if in doubt, put it in their hands to decide if it's okay to be taking. Man, it's already 10:23, you guys. Well, or whatever time it is for you, but it's almost been an hour already. I can't believe it. Oh, but that was our last question.
Hey, just to add on to what you were just talking about.
Oh, there's another one too. Go ahead. I didn't even ask you guys product info. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Product Coach is also a really good resource. If they're asking you a question and you go on the website and you look at the product info sheet and still are like, I don't know, blah, 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 go, like, let's say they want to know if it's gluten-free. Go to it's myitworksproductcoach.com, and you literally type in the little search bar gluten-free, and every product that we have that's gluten-free is listed there. Or if you need to know how many, like why, one that I know is a popular question, at least with my team, is why is our hair, skin, and nails so much better than the hair, skin, and nails at Walmart or wherever? If you go to Product Coach and you click on hair, skin, and nails, there's a specific question on there that says why is hair, skin, and nails so effective, or something like that. And it tells you. And then you literally can like copy that 3-sentence thing and paste it and send it to your customer. And that way, like, you're not guessing, that is 100% accurate. And I love that resource too. And I feel like we always kind of forget about it.
Yeah, I always forget about it. I'm glad that you mentioned it. Okay, so there is one other question from Renee, and it's a good question. I feel like we kind of talked about it a little bit, but she said, how do you get someone to follow through with the purchase? I go through the scripts, I get their attention and interest, but once I tell them the price, I don't hear back or get a follow-up, or a lot of times I'll even get an excuse as to why they can't right now. So I know what we all would say, but I want to hear from somebody else. So Rochelle, do you want to take this, or are you
I'm
staring into Huntley's eyes right now?
she's so full up and tired. I wish she would go to sleep. But so she hasn't slept like all day, and I think she's not feeling well because every time she like latches, she just sits here like she's just super content.
I'll hold her.
But anyways, that's a great question. Honestly, all that comes to mind is follow up. Like the only thing that came to my mind when I read that was that's completely normal. Like that happens to us all the time. It's just a matter of whether or not you're following up on a consistent basis. So like I personally will follow up in 2 days if I haven't heard back from them. If they don't respond to something, I will respond and be like, hey girl, did you have a chance to take a look at the product info? Or hey, how does that sound? Like sometimes I'll just repeat myself. And like if I told them the pricing and I said, how does that sound? And they ignored it, I will be like, hey, how does that sound again? And then if they still don't respond, I actually say like, hey girl, did I do something to upset you? And that always gets a response. And it's not like rude of us to ask that question, because here's the thing. In my opinion, it's rude for them to, this is kind of rude. It's rude for them to waste our time and then ignore us. So I will always say like, hey girl, did I do something to upset you? Because I genuinely want to know if I spent all that time giving you all that information and now you can't even tell me yes or no. So I'm just blunt like that. That's just how I am. But I will ask them, does that upset you? And then usually I get a response, and you'll get a reason. And you'll get a reason why. Either they don't have the money and they were embarrassed to tell you, or they're just not interested for whatever reason. And it kind of opens up the conversation again for you guys to have, another conversation. And then what else was I going to say? There was one more thing I was going to add to that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, just continue to follow up. You guys, there's not, and like you just heard Ashley say, 2 years ago was the first time that she reached out. Continue to follow up, and don't do it every single 2 days for 2 years, but every 2 days for about a week. And if they're still not doing it, then go down to every week. And then if they're still not, then maybe every month. And then eventually they're going to see one of your posts, or they'll always still be a potential of yours. The whole point of messaging and having potentials and reaching out is to continue to have conversations. Don't get discouraged if you're, having 50 conversations a day and nobody's buying. You guys are planting massive seeds, and they will harvest eventually, but they might not be harvesting right this second. But then in 2 weeks, you might have 40 loyal customers sign up because you're talking to all of these people. So eventually they will join you. You just have to continue planting seeds, and don't get discouraged and stop planting seeds because the seeds aren't harvesting, if that makes any sense.
So what I would add to that is, other than follow-up, if you are saying the right things, if you're engaging in the conversation, you're finding out like what they actually need, and you're doing all of that right, and you're following up, in 2 days you follow up, and then in 2 weeks you follow up, and you're doing all of this stuff and you're not signing them, then you're just not talking to enough people. So, I mean, I did a video, I think it was like 2 years ago, that I don't do this anymore, but I used to write down the name of every person that I messaged, and then I would go back when they would order or join, and I would highlight their name. And it was really for me because I wanted a visual of how many people was I actually messaging a day. And I ended up doing a video on it, and I remember like the amount of people who were like, oh my gosh, like that is like, I'm not talking to enough people. Because I mean, if you think about it, like for example, today, I can't tell you how many people I messaged, I'm not sure, but I probably around 40 people. And I did sign an LC, but the amount of people who did not respond to me, I mean, probably the majority of them didn't respond. I didn't have anybody say no. I had a few people who I'm going to follow up with, blah, blah, blah. But that's the only other part of the equation, is you're just not talking to enough people. So I wish I knew exactly what she said, but I watched a Zoom yesterday with Triple Diamond, Morgan McIntyre. I think, yeah, she's triple, with her. And I think the girl's name was Kelsey. And I'm going to butcher this, but basically she said, Kelsey was like, listen, it's not about what you're messaging, because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And our team page, and she was saying her team page has the scripts to follow. It's not that our products aren't working, because we are all selling the same products. And she like listed 4 bullet points, but then the last thing was that it's just, you're not talking to enough people. So if you're not happy with your results, if you're not getting at least your 4 LCs that our goal is, then just do what you're doing times 10. And then, or do what I did and write people's names down and see how many people are you actually messaging a day. And I think that might also be an eye-opener for some people.
I love that visual, because I think that especially as new distributors, you don't necessarily know how many people you need to be messaging. Like we say, message 10 minutes a day, 2 to 3 times a day. And so that might be a different amount for every single person, especially if you're new and you're still getting the hang of it. For me, I can message like 30 people in that 10 minutes, so now I'm messaging, between 20 and 30 people. So now I'm messaging between 60 and 90 people every day if I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I think that visual is amazing, because as a new distributor who doesn't really know, they think talking to 5 people every day is great. They think they're doing a great job, and you are, because you're talking to people, and that's the first step. But then you need to ramp it up, because 5 people every day, it's not going to happen. Like you're going to do well. You're going to do okay in the beginning, and you're going to get your first 4 LCs probably, because these are people who are your warm market that love you and want to support you. But when it comes time when you don't have those people left because you signed them all, talking to 5 people a day isn't going to cut it. I try to talk to at least 50 people every day. And like Ashley said, I probably don't even hear from 35 of them ever. Like no response, crickets. And for a new person, that could be very discouraging if they message 5 people and they don't hear back from any of them. And I hear it all the time. Like, well, I messaged 10 people yesterday and I didn't hear back from anybody. I suck at this. No, you're just not talking to enough people. You need to talk to more. You need to keep going. Randy just asked, how long do you wait to mention the business to people after you started following them? A lot of people say they like to wait at least 2 weeks, and it's because they want to build a relationship before that by liking and commenting on their stuff. But honestly, I have my own personal rule where every single picture that I post on Instagram in some way is connected to my business. And it doesn't say it works anywhere. And I always say home-based business or something like that, where I don't come out and say it works. I like to have a little bit of mystery about my Instagram. And so if they like my post, even if they liked a post of mine on the second day that we have been Instagram friends or whatever, I will message them and I will just say, hey girl, thank you so much for the like on my post. I love the support. Are you interested in making extra money from home? And I don't feel the least bit guilty about the fact that we've only been friends for 2 days because they liked my post, which means in my mind, they could possibly be interested in making money. So that's just how I do it. Ashley, it looks like Rochelle's muted for right now, but Ashley, I know that we have always kind of shared the same philosophy. And I know back in the day, it was like, oh, 2 weeks, let's do the like 2 week waiting period. But what do you do now?
Well, the thing is, like, when you get into the business for, when you're a year and a half in, whatever, and you're adding people every day, it's hard to keep track of when did I add this person? Like, has it been 2 weeks? I don't know. And really, like, to sit there and keep track of everybody is way too much. Like, I would never recommend trying to do that. But what I actually do to message people is I go to my followers and I just scroll down a long time. Like, I will, I've built a following now, so I have a lot of people to scroll through, but I'll scroll pretty far down. And if I have already messaged them, it's probably like been a year since I talked to them again. I'll delete that. If you hold your message, this is on Instagram. If you hold down the message and select unsend, it deletes it on both ends, so they won't see it either. And then I'll resend the product model script, or if it's about the business, I'll send them the business script. And then so I'll delete, I'll resend that, and then if I haven't ever messaged them, then I'll just send them that same whatever message I'm wanting to send them. But that's what I do. Or I will just scroll back to an old post. Like, I'll go back to like a month ago and I'll click on that post, because obviously, for the most part, if I just added them yesterday, they're not going to scroll that far down on my Instagram page. And then I'll just, same thing. I'll go to the people who liked that post and I'll go and I'll message all of them. So that's what I've been doing probably for 2 months now, because I like that the new people I'm adding, I know that I'm not messaging them, and they're either reaching out to me or, well, there is no or. They're reaching out to me, or eventually I'll get to them, but it'll be a little while. And I know we didn't really talk a whole lot about this, but stories too, like Instagram stories. I do need to start doing this, but I just learned this last night, that you have two audiences on Instagram. You have the people who watch your stories and you have the people who look at your posts. For the most part, it's two separate people, or two separate audiences. There are a lot of people who literally get on Instagram, they go through their stories and they're done. And then there's others who go and scroll through their feed. So if you go to a story and you click on the people who viewed it, you can also message people that way. Or you can like screenshot the people who viewed it and wait a couple of days, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. But yeah, that's it. And before, I don't know if Rochelle has anything to add to that, but we missed one question. So I just want to make sure we cover that before we get off the Zoom.
Oh yeah, the one that Rochelle wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Okay, so the question is, what do we say when they say they've tried It Works before and had a bad experience and they've heard bad things about the company?
She might not even.
Okay. Sorry, I gave Huntley to Brian and my phone's on 2%, so I'm plugging it in and then I'll answer this. Okay. Okay, wait, can you repeat the question?
Mm-hmm. Ashley's on mute.
Sorry. Okay, it says, what do we say when they say they've tried It Works before and they had a bad experience and they've heard bad stuff about the company?
Okay, yeah, I actually had like an analogy for this earlier today. So I want you guys to think of it like this. Brian, my fiance, has been in hardwood floors for his entire life. His parents own a company for hardwood floors, and So that's all he knows, right? He's good at it. That's just all that he knows. That's his business, his brand. Like we've talked about a lot tonight. Go, Chief. We've talked about a lot tonight about branding yourself. And if somebody were to ask him, like, hey, what do you do for a living? And he was like, oh, I do hardwood floors. And they like knocked it or said like they had a bad experience with some other company or, that's a stupid job. I'm a realtor or like whatever it may be. Like Brian doesn't just sit there and like take that, right? That's his pride and joy. Like that's all he knows. That's what he does. So like for a living, that's his career. So he would say like, oh, really? Like what company did you have a bad experience? He would ask the questions. He would do the things that he would need to make sure that these people didn't have this might be a bad analogy, but like that people didn't have a bad name against his company or his, or against floors that he loves to install, things like that. My point is you are your own brand. You do not stand for like, it works is just the products that you sell. Okay, there are people that are going to come to you for your products based on you, not based on the products that you sell, if that makes any sense. So like, because I'm a new mom who's breastfeeding and I am starting, this new routine and getting back in shape and everything like that. Now I'm targeting, well, I'm not specifically targeting, but what I'm saying is like, people are going to come to me that have those same things, new moms that are trying to get back in shape. They're going to come to me before they go to, somebody that is a college student doing it works because they relate to me more. It doesn't matter what products you're selling. It matters what your brand is. So when they decide to like knock it or say, oh, I've tried It Works before and it didn't work, or, oh, It Works, I'm not interested. Pride. This is your pride and joy, right? This is your business. Okay. This is what you do. So you need to ask the questions like, have you ever tried the products? Or have you just heard negative reviews from other people? I mean, don't say that. Just say, have you ever tried the products? And if they say no, then say, what makes you have a negative opinion of it? I'm curious. And if they say they've had a bad experience by talking to somebody else or something, change their mind, you guys. This is your business. Change their mind about it. These products, people need these products. People need this business. So maybe they had a bad experience with so-and-so who just wanted to sell them something and they could feel that, but make them have a great experience with somebody like you who's trying to help them with something. What are your health and wellness goals? I have over 50 plant-based products. I know that I can find something to help you. Let me send you a list of categories just to see if anything sparks your interest. Like, don't come off pushy. Try to help them. And it will change everybody's mindset. In fact, I've had countless people, you guys, come to me and say, I'm so glad that you're not so pushy. What's funny is everybody on this team totally thinks I'm pushy and never takes no for an answer. But my customers truly feel and have told me that they feel like I do not pressure them in any way. I genuinely want to find a need and help them. So when you feel like, or when they feel like you're there to help them, they're not going to have a bad rap about It Works, because It Works is irrelevant. It's you who is selling the products, and it's you who they want to buy from. It doesn't matter what you're selling. I hope that makes sense. Did I say everything I wanted to say, guys?
Yeah, makes so much sense. I love that. And I was going to add something to it, but I'm having a moment. So let's go ahead and wrap it up there. I thought we were going to have like all this leftover time to like talk about all this other stuff, but no, like those questions literally took over an hour, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer. So let's just wrap it up here and plan on doing another team Zoom in July. We'll get past the holiday, which is right in the beginning of the month, and then kind of plan for something right after, following that, so that we can connect again. And I hope you guys learned a lot, and it might have been some stuff that you already knew, but you needed a little review. I love these things because I've been in this business for 4 years this month, and I still learn something new every single month, or I'm reminded of something new that gets me all excited and like ready to go message or follow or whatever it is. So anyways, I hope you guys got a lot out of this tonight. And I hope you're ready to get to work. And we have 9, I guess like 8.5. I don't know if you still want to include today, but we have a lot of time to finish June really, really strong and just kick butt and go crazy. There's promotions on the line. There's bonuses on the line. There's shopping sprees on the line. That Ruby bonus, Emerald bonus. I mean, guys, there's so many bonuses out there that are so doable. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait to see who earns what and how everybody's doing. So I hope you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you in the morning. It's late here. It's like almost 11 o'clock. So I'm going to bed. Actually, I have a few more messages I have to send out, but then I'm going to bed. All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.